Hi, everybody. The next talk is by Asha Yadav on early intervention, early childhood special education. Asha, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, my name is Asha Yadav. I'm a PhD student in special education and clinical sciences at the University of Oregon. And this project was initiated as part of the capstone project for data science specialization at the University of Oregon. So I'm going to talk about use of Shiny in helping the local early intervention agency to get deeper dive into their 5-year data and make some key decisions related to funding and service delivery. So for this project, I liaised with Oregon Department for Education. Now, a bit about Part C Early Intervention and Early Childhood Special Education Services. It is a federally mandated service for birth to 5-year-old children with developmental delays and disabilities and their families. The main purpose of this project was to get insight into monthly report from 2015 to 2020 and child level data and track trends through visualization. And these monthly reports are collected by local early intervention agencies, and they report it to state, and state reports the aggregated data to federal government. So here is the snapshot of the Shiny app, which I built for them. And people working in the field know that early intervention agencies are underfunded, and almost all their resources go to delivering services for children and families, which also means that they do not have access to latest technology for maximizing their operational efficiency. The key information here is that their funding is directly linked to the number of children and families accessing their services. So in 2020, when COVID-19 hit, we looked at the number of children referred to the program, and you could see that there is dip in the number of children accessing the services, which means that in the year 2021, their funding was going to get affected. So here I'm just showcasing in one way how this visualization has helped them. So we compared the local early intervention referral with these Oregon Office State referral, and I have used scale free here. So you can see the trend is quite similar, which means that they could advocate for continuing their funding not based on 2020 data, but on previous years from 2015 to 2019, which was reflecting true numbers. Now, throughout this process, I had some learnings and questions. Now, number one was working with someone else's data is a different story. So far, as a PhD student, I had worked on my own research questions and on my own data. When I took up this project, I learned that it is completely different story. Who are the users? I networked with the leadership team, but soon I realized that what was important here was to extend the team and include people who are working at the ground level or who were collecting these data and understand all their processes. I also learned that what insight user would like to have in their data versus what insight I want them to have. When we started this project, I was given only the set of their data set and some set of questions, and I was visualizing the way I understood it. But soon I realized that I needed to understand them better. Is this the best way to present the data? This was the question that I had to ask a number of times while going through the process and creating all the visualizations for them. And our morning speakers have talked about importance of community partnership and trust building. And that was key throughout this process, which means that transparency and open communication played great role in this project. And I also learned that it's an iterative process. As a student, I learned that I was making mistakes so many times, and it was okay to go back and try to understand them or have more questions and just understand what exactly are they looking for and how I can help them with this. And this also meant them raising their awareness about capabilities of R and Shiny, in particular Shiny app. And so. Now, why did I choose Shiny? On a couple of research projects, I did use Flex Dashboard to communicate my data analysis with a variety of stakeholders. But in this case, I used Shiny, of course, because of its huge interactive capabilities, and it helped to include huge amount of data and information. And it's user-friendly interfacing. And also one thing which I thought when I started working on this that it would be very difficult, but I found that it's easy access for users. So when I deployed it on cloud using Shiny apps, and I thought it's going to be challenging, but it was pretty straightforward. Some of the packages that I used to build this Shiny app was Shiny itself, Shiny Dashboard, Colorblinder, Tidyverse, and many more. And also, I want to say that I'm a newbie in R. I just literally started around 6 to 9 months ago getting to know about R. And some of the speakers mentioned about Mastering Shiny book. And I can vouch for that, being a newbie in the field, that it really helped me to work on Shiny, which I had never worked before. And also R Studio tutorials helped me a lot along the way. Last but not the least, in this process, I learned that when you work with an organization with disability focus, often you come across people who have different abilities, and it's important to include everyone in it. Some of the questions were asked, you must have noticed that I used colorblind friendly colors in my plot, but is this the only way to make your visualizations accessible? There were, like Emily mentioned, about people with dyslexia. So there were people in the team who had dyslexia, and they asked that there were questions about font and color and size and all of those things, which was a bit challenging for me, and that's something that I would like to dig deeper, understand it better. So I'm just leaving this question for you to think about, how to make Shiny app, in particular visualizations, accessible. And also, I used to think that interactive visualization is accessible and intuitive, but no, not for everyone.
Thank you.
So thank you to the Early Intervention Program and Oregon Department for Education for letting me use sensitive data, and Cascadia Conference for letting me speak here. Thank you to everyone for listening. Thank you.